So I'm going to start by putting some shop rags underneath the alternator. I may actually put a cup under here just to protect the exhaust pipe. So I'll start by loosening each of these. And it should just be these 3 that I need to remove it. So now that I got them started, just gonna go in a crisscross pattern. The other thing I should do as well is disconnect the alternator. All right, so that cable's out of the way. And then I will remove cable like this. I'll clean up some of the oil that is dripping right down the side. Now that the alternator's off, I can pull up these components and see how they look. So one of the issues with the CBX alternator is this plate has a bit of a concave. So what a bunch of folks do is actually sand this down so it's flat. That way it mates properly to the other surface, because these naturally have grooves in them and the metal digs into both sides as it's trying to catch. These are supposed to slip past each other, which is by design, but I can see there's an edge all the way around, and that's going to prevent this from sealing properly. Now the charging system does seem to be working properly because I am getting over 13 volts when the motorcycle is running. So one of the things that I need to do on the CBX before I put the alternator back on is I need to clean up these discs. So there is a known defect from factory. These discs are concave. So I've already taken this disc, put it on my lathe, and then I made sure it was flat. I'm gonna do the same thing with the end I just pulled off of this. So I've got this mounted to my lathe right now, and then when I'm done, hopefully it'll look like this. So I need to make sure this is flat as it's spinning, because if it's not and I start using the cutting tool, then it's going to create a surface that is not flat when the two pieces are married together. So what's gonna happen is once it's mounted back to the bike, these two plates will touch like this, there will be some friction, and then they will catch. And when they catch, that's when it actually spins the alternator. So these both need to be perfectly flat so that there's a good see. I can see right now, right, these slide because it's not perfectly marrying up with the other side. All right, so first, let's make sure that the part is screwed in there. I'm gonna close this, and then I'm gonna spin it and make sure that it's flat. So that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna bring the tool in, make sure all of these are tight, make sure you don't have any movement. I will lock this all the way back. That way it's not gonna move. I'll touch off on the piece, come back over here, and let's do first pass. I just want to make sure I have the right speed. So you could see that it only took off metal on the middle of the disc. It didn't take off any of the metal on the outside of the disc, right? So this is not completely flat. So we're gonna keep going until we can make a pass all the way across the disc and ensure that we have a flat surface. All right, so I think this is in a pretty good spot. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna run it over some sandpaper just to smooth out any of these edges. All right, so I took one more pass on this one just to make sure I had a little bit of a lip. So when these go together, this nut does not contact this. So now we've got the right dimensions. It's time to reinstall this on the bike. Now, something I may have to do, since I did take some metal off of both of these discs, is potentially add another spacer right here. I could fabricate one of those myself. That would probably be the easiest, just to match this size, and that would put a little more tension on this spring, but we'll give it a shot as it is. All right, so I'll install that there. And then I will get this mounted back where it's supposed to be. This only mounts in one direction. I'll get a couple of these started. I'll hold it in place. I'm gonna hand tighten these just to make sure I'm not stripping anything. All right, that's reconnected, and then I'll make sure that I plug in the cable for the alternator as well up top.